Okay, this is super funny and totally true, and I think that everybody needs to share this. I stole this from a realtor in South Carolina. I saw her posted. Her name is Paulina Fentress Casastrum. So make sure you check this out. So what's the cost of getting faced? Well, let's see here. 20 bucks in parking, 20 bucks for club admission, 150 bucks for drinks, more for the liver that I have, 15 bucks in food maybe yesterday, for a total of $205. Times that by 104 Fridays and Saturdays over the course of a year, that comes out to a little over 21,000 bucks change, right? Versus, let's say, a 5% down payment on a $450,000 house, which is 22,500 bucks. So the question that we need to ask renters who live around us right now is, do you want a home next year, or do you want a liver that better resembles a medicine ball? It's perspective, people. It's perspectives. You know, homes are so expensive. Homes are so expensive. Homes are, like, yeah, they are. What's self-sabotage costing you? No judgment here, guys. You're speaking to the king of self-sabotage. And I'll tell you right now, over enough time, it's cost me more than down payments. It's cost me the price of houses, and that would be plural. Point being this, it's a great icebreaker piece that you can share with those around you.
There were at least 7.
Okay, I already see one. Give me. Okay.
They're the same picture.
All right, moving on. Okay, last month, the FHFA published its Q1 2023 data for its Uniform Appraisal Dataset, the UAD. Aggregate statistics that include new statistics and property characteristics in its data file and dashboards. The data stats now include residential comps that could provide quantitative insight into the appraisal process, since comps are the leading method used to assess property values. This right here, guys, is an extension of the witch hunt that we currently have against our appraisers. We have almost overnight turned all of these people into villains, at the same time that we have an agenda that is being driven right now to automate the appraisal process, which, if you look to the likes of Zillow, OpenDoor, and OfferPad, has worked out so swimmingly over the past few years, don't you think? However, that's the way the truck is going when it comes to your agency, Fannie, Freddie, Ginnie type of appraisals in the future. However, for our purposes, this is actually fairly interesting. For example, on this interactive map you're looking at right now, you can find out all the data on sales on properties, including delinquencies, forbearances, and foreclosure forbearance actions that have been taken. Now, that, my friends, is where this thing gets really, really interesting, because we can look at housing like an iceberg. With the FHFA housing data, we can see how much of that ship-sinking iceberg is actually underwater. And from this vantage point provided by the FHFA with this data set, it's a lot bigger than we thought it was. In California alone, for example, 17,770 loans are seriously delinquent. Now, of those, 9.11% have been delinquent for over a year. It's a big number, guys. It's interesting, but it's hardly earth-shattering. So let's keep looking. As of March 31st, California alone has over 822,000 foreclosure prevention actions. That's right. That's nearly 1 million properties that would and could be in foreclosure right now. Should be resold transactions that provide checks to you and me. That, of course, if we collectively decided to kick people out of homes that don't make their payments, and that is not the temperament of our country right now. They also have a conforming loan limit map that's really kind of cool, a home price index map, another HPI home price index quarterly change map, and a ton more. Listen, if you need quick, good, relevant stats on mortgages and housing in your area, this FHFA page has it for you in spades. It's good for you to use for any type of presentation that you might want to put together for when you're speaking with your sphere of influence. And speaking of which, maybe the most interesting piece is home prices. Something that we already inherently collectively understand. They're still going up in spite of the Fed's effort to destroy housing and the economy as a whole. Overall, nationally, home prices are up 18.7% from April 2021 to April 2022. That's a big number. However, since April 2022, volume and prices are still climbing at an additional rate of 3.1%. Think about that, guys. Values are going up if rates are 4%. Values are still going up if rates are 7%. What is that telling you about the future of interest rates? It tells me that the Fed thinks that they still have some work to do. Further, values are up across the country, short the West and the mountain regions in the West. Again, not shocking for those of us who've been here before, but this is a case of here we go again, right? See, those, my friends, are the sand states. states that have something to do with sand. It's the coast in California and Washington, not Oregon, nobody cares about them, and the sand in Arizona and Nevada primarily, but also some portions of Utah and Colorado. You see, these sand states have historically been the first to fall where the rest of the country follows suit. Not that it's going to happen again, but if history is the best indicator of future occurrences, we might be in for a turbulent next couple of years. And finally, I want you to think of this. If there's going to be more properties coming on the market as our economy seems to be indicating, the ones that are going to fall first are, you guessed it, those second homes, not the first ones. We just did a story recently that said second homes were performing worse in 2008 than subprime loans. That would probably be the case again. So where might we look if we chose to find properties that have a high probability of getting listed in the coming weeks, months, and years? Try this one on for size, and nobody's ever thought of this before, and I'm giving it to you for free. Hell of a lot less than your $2,500 a month coach who tells you to be better, man. All right, here's what you do. Go to Airbnb, use a different email account than one that you currently have because they're going to shut you down, but go to Airbnb, go to a neighborhood around you where there's a high density of second homes. It doesn't need to be, but that would always be ideal. And then go ask the homeowners a question, which you can do without signing up for that Airbnb, and let them know that you can help them unload and unburden themselves from these properties that are invariably going to be listed with or without you. You've got a database right at your disposal, and all it requires you to do is hit a couple of different keystrokes over the course of your day tomorrow, and maybe there's a $20,000 check on the other end of that. Ain't that something? It'll work, but most of you will yawn and just keep doing business as usual. As I said before, friends, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Hope this helps out, and I can't wait to see you again on Monday. Sharing this makes me happy. You want to make me happy this weekend? Share my show. If you want me to cry this weekend, I don't know. You can't do that. Later.